Hey friends, Ash here with Gents. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for coming back and hanging out. Been a minute since I've done a fragrance rotation, mainly because I don't really set rotations and I just kind of go through things randomly. So in actuality, this is not really much of a fragrance rotation. More so, it's like 7 fragrances I've been spraying on myself off and on over the past week. But rotation just sounds better. Right. So a rotation it is. We're going to be looking at some mass appealing fresh fragrances here, some brand new releases, and also some just random stuff that I felt like wearing. So let's jump into it. Let's kick it off with San Lucas. This is from Malul. It's part of their Tattooart collection. And this one was sent to me by Malul. So this is their new fragrance, but the reason they sent it to me is because they wanted me to check out the new presentation. And I gotta say, it's a big step up. So I've got one of their older Tattooart fragrances. Here it is. So check that out. Now the new one. Old one, new one. It's a big difference. This looks way better. They also pimped out the boxes too, so those look a lot nicer as well. It's got kind of a rubberized feel to it, which I like. I'm a sucker for simple things like that. Got the notes on the back, all the good information. Looks really nice. And like I said, when you put this side by side with their old presentation, you can tell that they're moving on up in the world. And they redid the whole Tattooart line. So instead of just looking pretty simple with the sticker slapped on the front, now they look proper. So the scent itself, it's a little bit blue, fresh, slightly tropical, kind of a vacation scent, casual scent. When you first spray it on, you've got apple and bergamot, little tiny touch of green cardamom in there. For me, it's the sort of scent you'd use the same times as maybe like Luna Rosa Ocean or some of the Y fragrances from YSL. But this one is gonna be fresher, not quite as heavy. As it dries, you get lavender, a little bit of tonka, giving you some sweetness, and then the woods come in the far dry down. It's cedarwood and sandalwood, the official notes. I've worn this a number of times now. Like I said, real nice, casual, summertime scent, fresh, slightly sweet, good stuff. And the atomizer is pressurized too. Like I said, I'm a sucker for simple things. Pretty nice. Only a little bit got in my eyeball. It stings. Shouldn't have done that. Oh, and if you shop on Malul's website ever, use the code GENTSCENTS, GENTSCENTS. Save yourself 20% off. Good for the whole website. Next fragrance I've been wearing, XX Artisan Teal. This is from Varvatos. I love the look of this bottle. I love it. I think it's awesome. I love the teal coloration, this basket weave, or is it rope casing, I guess they said. Looks awesome. Smells really nice off a tester strip as well. On my skin, I get the tiniest touch of lemon, not a whole bunch. It goes away pretty quick. Off a tester strip, it stays around longer. Also off skin, it has a kind of an alcohol blast when you first spray it on, so be aware of that. Touch of rosemary, so you get this herbal green feel, which ties it in with some of the earlier Artisan fragrances. Then as it dries down, it becomes mainly about the sea salt and the driftwood. So a salty, slightly marine, woody scent. Faint hint of water lily in there as well, so a little freshness from that, but not a whole bunch. So the presentation, I love it. The smell, I like it pretty well. I do. The problem is the performance is terrible. Holy crap, is it bad. Now, I know that's the thing with Varvatos, and it's been harped on to death, and it's like a hot take that's not hot at all. Freezing cold takes. Oh, Varvatos, yeah, they smell good, but the performance isn't good. It gets thrown out for every Varvatos fragrance, even with the ones that have decent performance. But as with a lot of things that get repeated often, there's a lot of truth to that as well, that Varvatos fragrances will smell good and have bad performance. A lot of them do, the majority. And this one, I gotta say, off my skin is the worst performing Varvatos that I own. And it could be just me for some reason. I don't know. Maybe other people will have better luck with it, but guys, it is gone in 60 seconds. It is Nick Cage. Legitimately, this stuff dies off my skin faster than almost any new release I can think of. So it's a huge bummer. The bottle looks awesome. When I can smell it, it smells really nice, and then it's completely gone. I spent so much time with that, reapplying, trying to see, is it me? Can other people smell it? What's going on? No, it's just really bad. It's piss poor performance. And then I've also been rocking this Cool Water Parfum from Davidoff. First impression on this was, hey, check it out. It's the cool water take of Dior Sauvage. My impression now that I've worn it more is, hey, check it out. It's the cool water take on Dior Sauvage. It's got lemon, vetiver, pink pepper, and sandalwood as some of the notes in the fragrance. I mean, it's super pleasant. I can't say it's not. It's a big time compliment puller. You know, really versatile, just like Sauvage. They copied Dior's homework here. It's what they did. I say if you find Cool Water Parfum on the cheap, Scoop it up if you want a Sauvage alternative. Quality on it's pretty nice, maybe not quite as metallic as Dior Sauvage. So some people might then say, well, if it's not quite as metallic, not quite as aggressive as Dior Sauvage, maybe it's more like Luna Rossa Carbon, which is Prada's take on Dior Sauvage. Then I've been giving this one a little bit of wear. Aqua, Celestia, Cologne, Forte from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Throwing out codes left and right here. Twisted Lily has this and a bunch of other niche fragrances. Code Gents10, save yourself 10% off if you shop there. You know what needs to happen? FragranceNet needs to give me like a 40% off code. Huh? FragranceNet, have your people call my people. And by that, I mean just like send me an email. I don't have people. Blackcurrant, jasmine, bergamot, and musk, some of the notes in the fragrance. Soapy, fresh, you know, kind of unisex. Smells really clean though, very classy. One of those fragrances for high heat situations where you want to smell like you have your life put together, even if you don't. And then I can't really tell you why I wore this fragrance outside of just I saw it in the corner, like bottom shelf, stuffed into the corner. And I remembered, hey, I've not worn that since I got it in and did a first impression for a pretty good reason. It's a horrendously ugly bottle, but it's Police To Be Tattooart. It's like a little skull staring into your soul. Oh. So the bottle is horrifically ugly, you could say. And the atomizer looks horrifically cheap. But in actuality, it sprays out decently well. Kind of. This one has lavender, tonka, ambroxan, and blackcurrant once again. And it actually smells not too bad. Not too bad. Because you have to take into account this fragrance you can find for right at about $20, sometimes less. Sometimes you can find this around 17, 18 bucks. So we're not exactly dealing with the highest end fragrance here. You know, you're not exactly looking for the best quality, the 3 Michelin star of fragrances. That's not what you're looking for if you're buying this tacky, disgusting skull. I know I'm busting on the skull. Some people really like the bottles. I'm not a fan. In all honesty, though, it's really not that bad. It's kind of a bubble gummy take on Mont Blanc Legend or Fierce, something like that. So you've got more of that synthetic bubblegum sweetness in the opening, but it's done in a similar style to a Legend type scent. Like I said, the first time I smelled it, and the only time I had smelled it up until I wore it again, was doing a first impression, and it was in the cold, and I was outside, and yeah, I had the bright idea of doing a first impression out there when it was probably like 40 degrees or something. Fahrenheit, I'm not sure what that is in Celsius. Close to 0. But just as a pro tip here, guys, if you're doing a first impression off a tester strip and you're outside in the cold where it's windy and your nose is red and all that, you're not gonna really be able to smell the fragrance all that much. Not the greatest time to do a first impression, we'll say that much. But if you're looking for a cheapie and you don't mind the look of the bottle, or even if you maybe think the bottle looks cool, this one's worth checking out. And then I reached for this one. It's actually been a minute since I've worn it. Stronger With You Freeze. Ginger, citrus, vanilla, and amberwood, some of the notes in this fragrance, along with a little bit of lavender, a little bit of apple. This one I really dig. It's got the fresh aspect, but also a gourmandy side to it as well. When you first spray this on, it does have kind of an icy feeling, you know? The name Freeze? Yeah, it's got a bit of that. As it dries down, it's basically a freshened up take on the Stronger With You DNA. Not quite as heavy, but it still does retain, like I said before, that gourmandy edge. It smells great to me. Really, really nice. And apparently it didn't really take off or do all that well, which is a bummer. And essentially, seems like the new Stronger With You Only is supposed to take the place of Stronger With You Freeze as the warm weather take in the Stronger With You line. And Stronger With You Only is a fine fragrance, nothing wrong with it, but I do think Stronger With You Freeze, on the whole, is a little bit more interesting. Now, last but not least, Martinique from Tommy Bahama. And I can tell you the reason that I wore this is solely because I hadn't worn it in a long, long, long time. It was a warmer day. I was over there by the Tommy Bahamas thinking to myself, you know, I've not worn these for a minute. Let's go ahead and get a TB out here. Not a Tom Brady, Tommy Bahama. And I thought, St. Bart's? Nah. I've worn that a lot over the years. I know that one like the back of my hand. St. Kitts? Nah, not that one. I've worn that one a little bit as well. I liked it a lot when it first came out. Thought about one of the Maritime bottles, which they have a better bottle than Martinique, but decided, nah. Then I glanced down the little bottle of Martinique. Picked it up years ago from, I think, a Ross, maybe a TJ Maxx. I said, yeah, that one. Water, lavender, bergamot, musk, some of the notes in the fragrance. And when I sprayed it on, I remembered, oh yeah, that's why I don't wear it as much. Now, it's not that it's bad. It isn't. It's just St. Bart's is better. Aquatic lavender with white musk undertone. Not a whole heck of a lot of bergamot in there, you know, not a ton of citrus. Performance, pretty bad. But this is an eau de cologne, so it's not like they're saying, hey, this is an eau de parfum, then you spray it on and it's gone immediately. They tell you it's an eau de cologne. And I could see myself wearing this one over St. Kitts, you know, on a vacation or something like that. But my Tommy Bahama of choice, as far as vacation fragrances go, is still gonna be St. Bart's. And then the maritime ones, if I'm just going for like a cheap, easy, casual type thing. All right, those are some of the fragrances that I've been wearing here, and some of these I've been wearing multiple times, trying to figure them out. Looking at you, Varvatos. Let me know in the comments some of the stuff that you've been wearing. Thank you for hanging with me. Thanks for your support. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.